Hello, everyone. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Dee, and this is Dee's Reading Lounge, where I'm sharing my love for reading at my own pace. Welcome back to another video. I am trying to be consistent, however, with videos for the 12 days of Christmas. However, I did miss yesterday because, if you can't tell, I am under the weather. So I'm feeling a little better today, and I thought I would go ahead and jump back in and film this video. As you read by the title, this is a huge book haul video. So this is a collective book haul. I bought a lot of these books for my birthday and also at random times. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start with my Amazon books. I don't buy a whole lot of books nowadays on Amazon. I use Amazon as a last resort. If I can't get it or find it anywhere else for cheaper, I'll go onto Amazon. So the first book that I purchased is this book right here. This one is called Lucky by Rachel Edwards. I was on Storygraph and this one came up randomly. It's actually a Black female thriller author, and the premise sounded so good. I will put the premise up here because my voice and my throat can't take it, okay? But yeah, I went ahead and purchased this one from Amazon. Yeah, Amazon. And so I'm excited to get into this at some point in time. The next book is by James L. Reed. This one is called Trust. And this one is a Christian fiction book, the first book in a series of books. And the reason why I got this book is because I'm really interested in reading a lot of sisterhood Christian fiction books because those relationships with girlfriends and things like that mimic my own life and some of the conversations that we have, like in real life. And so I'm just interested in getting into like a book to read that's similar that I can relate to. So I went ahead and got just book number one so I could see if I would like to continue further with the series. And again, I will put the synopsis on the screen. The next book that I got is One Summer in Savannah by Tara Shelton Harris. And I do believe this author has another book that's coming out soon that I saw like yesterday on my library's website or something like that. Anyway, this one came up in Lex Reed's videos. This is a book that she read recently, and I was interested in the synopsis. It is a heavy one, so you can check the synopsis out. So the next one I purchased is another Lex Reed's recommendation. I get a lot of recommendations from Lex Reed's because we tend to have a similar reading taste. I think her favorite genre is historical fiction, as mine is as well. I do like thrillers, like in real life, but I'm just getting into reading thriller books. So this one was just right up my alley. It's called Not So Perfect Strangers. It's a thriller by L.S. Stratton, which is a Black female author. And I love the premise. I think it's about a Black and a white woman trying to escape domestic abuse, and they end up helping each other out. So I'm excited to get to that one in 2025 because none of these books will be getting read in 2024 because I have a agenda already full of what I'm going to read. The next book is a highly anticipated book. This one is James by Percival Everett. He is a New York Times bestseller, and he just won a award for this book. And so I never read The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I did start it on audio, but then I didn't continue it. But I'm glad I didn't because I heard a lot of people say that you don't necessarily have to read that before reading this one. And reading this one as a standalone, it's probably better to go into this first. So I'm glad I didn't read that one all the way through. And so I can't wait to get to that one. So the next set of books I got from Ollie's. I did go to Ollie's maybe 2 weeks ago. I put that in a vlog. If I can figure out what vlog that was, I will link it above. If you're interested in watching that, you can. So the books I got from Ollie's are Stamped from the Beginning. This is by Ibram Kendi. It's an African American nonfiction book. I will put more about it here, but I already have the hard copy. But I saw this floppy copy and it was only $4. Cannot beat that. Paperbacks are just easier for me to hold in my hand, and I just love the floppiness of the book. So I went ahead and picked that for $4. The next one is You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwaeke Emezi, and this is how it looks, which looks a little different from standard hardback. So as you can see, the cover is printed actually on the book itself because this is a large print edition. I was going back and forth with myself as to if I should get a book like this, but it's just words on the page, and I mean, hey, it is what it is. It's not too bad to read or whatever. And so it was only $3, and so I heard good things about it. I will put the synopsis on the screen so you can learn more about that one. And then the last book I got for $4.99 is Did You Hear About Kitty Carr by Crystal Smith Paul. I heard a lot of people talk about this one as well, and so I was interested in picking this one up. So the one book that I bought from Costco on my Costco run is the Fourth Wing, by Rebecca Yarros. And if you know anything about me, I don't do fantasy books like that. However, I just bought this one in case I was interested in reading something totally out of my comfort zone because I do get in those moods where I just want to read something different, like sci-fi or fantasy or just something totally different because I do read a lot of heavy books. Historical fiction is a heavy genre. I love learning about history, and I just love the storytelling in historical fiction, but they can get a little depressing. And so I got this one for those, like a palate cleanser, just to take my mind off of some of those heavy themes in books. So I went ahead and picked that one up for $11.99 at Costco, which was, in my opinion, a great price. All right, so the next set of books I purchased from thriftbooks.com, and I purchased these like for my birthday. And I got these in maybe two orders. Most of these books that I purchased from thrift books, and that is the way that I have been purchasing or accumulating obtaining my books lately because I have to be realistic with myself. I love reading. I'm loving my reading journey, but these books are just going to sit on my shelf until I can get to reading them. They will get read. I'm committed to that. But they're going to be sitting on my shelf until I do get to them. And so, I don't want to really be wasting a whole lot of money. So that is why I purchase from thrift stores, used bookstores, things like that. And so I probably will continue to purchase from thriftbooks.com because other than that one time, I really haven't had any issues with them. And all of these books are in fairly good condition, or I'm making sure that I read the description before I purchase the book of the condition that they're listing it as. Anyway, so this one is called The Personal Librarian by Marie Bennett Victoria Christopher Murray. Let me say that again, by Marie Bennett and Victoria Christopher Murray. Okay, so two authors, and I don't remember who I discovered or heard talk about this book, but it was circulating somewhere. And so it's another historical fiction. This one is about a lady who is passing as white. She's black, but passing as white, and she's the assistant or personal librarian to J.P. Morgan. So that premise sounds right up my alley. I went ahead and purchased that one. And then we've got J. California Cooper. Now, I was so excited that I was able to get a lot of her catalog on thriftbooks.com. And most of them are some of them are hardback, paperback form, which is totally okay with me. So this one is The Future Has a Past. These are short stories. I'm excited about that. The next one is Family by J. California Cooper. And let me just get all of my J. California Coopers out of the way because I do have several of them. All right, so I have three more. All right, so I've got Some Soul to Keep, which is a novel, Homemade Love, which is a novel as well. And this is The Future Has a Past, which are short stories. And all of these books are in good condition or great condition. And so I was happy to be able to get most of her catalog. So I've only read one book from her, but that book, I don't remember a lot of the details, but I know it was very emotional, heartwarming. You felt for the characters. She talks a lot about family, and I just love the way she just tells stories. But they are heartbreaking stories, though. From the one book that I read, I can't, speak about the other books that she has written. Anyway, so those are all of her books. And so the next one I got is Single Black Female by Tracy Brown. Tracy Brown is no longer with us. From the title, you would think this was like a thriller, but it's a more like a woman's fiction. It's based on two female, like black friendship, and the struggles that they're going through and things like that. But again, I will put the synopsis on the screen so you can check that out. And then I've got Seeing Unburied Scene by Jessamine Ward. I'm just getting into her. I've only read her memoir, which was outstanding. And so can't wait to get to this one. Seeing Unburied Scene. And then we've got The House of Eve. So I did get a library copy. This is by Sadiqa Johnson. I'm getting ready to read one of her first novels next after I finish the current book that I'm reading, which is Yellow Wife. I can't wait to get into that book. But I heard good things about this one. This one was in Reese's book club as well. Check out the synopsis for more details. Then I've got Coffee Will Make You Black by April Sinclair. And this one was just a random pick that I picked up from thriftbooks.com. Then we've got the Dust Bowl Orphans. I think I've already showed this. I've already showed this in a Christmas vlog that I did recently. I will leave the synopsis of this book here, but I'm not going to be talking about any books that I've already showed in other videos. So let me just take those out. Next, we've got the Autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley. So I've read this one before, and this is one of my favorite books. I do want to reread it. I'll probably reread it in 2025. Um, I think I want to get a hardback copy of this if it's not too expensive, a brand new copy of it, because this one is just in a good condition. Okay with it, but I think because this is one of my favorite books, I want to get a new copy or a hardback. If you have not read this, I do encourage that you read this. This is such a good book. Is Octavia Butler's Clay's Ark, and as you can see, it is a tiny mass paperback. So I did not realize it was going to come like this. But it's okay because this is like not my favorite series. I did like book number one. Book number two was a little different from book number one, but it wasn't horrible. So I am continuing in this series that I have started because I've already started it. And I already have several of the books. So this is the third book, the next book in the lineup. And because there's no sequence or the story doesn't continue from one book to the to another, at least that was how it was with the book one and book two. If I read them out of order, I don't think that would be a problem. But anyway, so I'm okay with this because it's really short. It's like barely 200 pages. And so Clay's Ark by Octavia Butler, third book in the Patterner series. The next book I got is James Baldwin, Go Tell It on the Mountain. And I got this one because of a book that I read last month, which was The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton, about a man who was sentenced to 30, well, death. He was sentenced to death, but he ended up spending 30 years of his precious life in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And he started a book club in prison. And this was one of the first books that they read in the all male book club. It was black men, white men, and you got to hear about what their favorite parts of the book. And so that just made me want to get this book. I have read several books by James Baldwin, but I've had meaning to continue his catalog and just never got to it. And so I went ahead and picked this one up. And then the last three books from thriftbooks.com, Bernice L. McFadden, The Warmest December. Then we've got Toni Morrison, Home. I saw this book in Barnes and Noble because they're carrying backlisted like older books now, and they had pretty much not her whole catalog, but mostly her whole catalog. And of course, this tiny book was like $17 or $18, and I just did not want to spend that type of money. Um, and so I bought this one for $5, and it's in very good condition. So Toni Morrison, and I'll probably be starting that one as my first book from her because I do have or have had several books from her for a while and just have been intimidated. I did try to start The Bluest Eye. Was it The Bluest Eye? I think so. On audio, and even that one was hard to get into because I was trying to exercise, and you just cannot do that with her books. You have to actually have her book in your hand and not be distracted by anything because if not, you will get lost because she's so poetic. Every word has a meaning, every word has a theme, and you just will miss out if you are not concentrating on her book and really trying to comprehend what she's saying. And so the last book is Praise Song for the Butterflies by Bernice L. McFadden. And so that's it, you guys. That is my massive book haul. A lot of books, right? Um, about 25 books, not including the books that I already showed you in previous videos. Ooh, so let me get a quick thumbnail. Is this what y'all be doing? Thanks for watching, y'all. I will see you guys in the next video, which hopefully, if I'm feeling up to it, tomorrow. Take care and be blessed.